In 2018, they were the world's favorite underdog, a feel-good story that ended in tears of joy for a single goal in a 6-1 loss. The world celebrated them, then promptly forgot them. But what if that wasn't the end of the story? What if it was just the prologue? While the world moved on, Panama quietly built something new, something dangerous. This is the story of how the team everyone wrote off is back to shock the world, again. The year's 2018. The setting is Russia. An entire nation of just 4 million people held its breath, living an impossible dream. This wasn't about winning, it was about finally being there. For the first time in its history, Panama qualified for the FIFA World Cup. In the stands, a sea of red. On the pitch, men are battling against impossible odds. They lost 3-0 to a Belgian golden generation. They are on the receiving end of a 6-1 drubbing by England. But in that game, something magical happens. A 78th minute free kick is swung into the box and a 37-year-old veteran, Felipe Beloy, connects. The ball hits the back of the net and Panama, a nation, a team, a people, explodes. The images are iconic. Grown men weeping in the stands, players celebrating a consolation goal in a blowout loss as if they just won the tournament. It was the purest expression of what football can mean. It was Panama's first ever World Cup goal, but after the party ended, the world moved on. The narrative was set. Panama was the feel-good story. The tournament's plucky underdog. They came, they saw, they cried, they went home. The story was over. Now fast forward. The world largely forgot about that team from Central America. They were written off, a footnote in World Cup history. But something has been brewing in the heart of the Americas, something quiet, gritty, and relentless. This isn't the same team that went to Russia for the experience. This is a team forged in the fire of that memory, hardened by the years that followed. They are back. And they're not just here for the party. They're here to prove that 2018 wasn't the end of the story. It was just the beginning. Section 1. The Hangover and the Architect. 2018 was as brutal as it was predictable. The emotional high of that historic goal faded, replaced by the harsh reality of their results. 0 points, 2 goals scored, 11 conceded. The heroes of that campaign began to fade away. The goal scorer, Felipe Beloy, retired. The talismanic striker Blas Perez followed suit. The old guard was gone, leaving a leadership and experience vacuum. The team drifted. Their 2021 Gold Cup campaign ended in the group stage, a frustrating exit where a final day win wasn't enough. The attempt to qualify for the 2022 World Cup in Qatar ended in heartbreak, punctuated by a crushing 5-1 defeat to the United States that officially slammed the door shut. The world that had briefly celebrated them now ignored them. They were once again just Panama, a small nation in a confederation dominated by regional giants. The dream felt like a distant, beautiful memory that might never be recaptured. But then came a change. In July of 2020, the Panamanian Football Federation appointed Thomas Christensen as their new head coach. For the casual fan, the name might not have been a headline grabber. A Danish-born former Spanish international, his career included playing days in Spain and Germany, as well as managerial stints in Cyprus, Belgium, and at Leeds United. But Christensen was exactly what Panama needed. An outside voice with a clear tactical identity. He didn't try to replicate the past. He sought to build a new future. Christensen is a manager defined by tactical flexibility, often employing a 5-4-1 or a 3-4-3 formation focused on defensive solidity and rapid transitions. He began the arduous process of rebuilding, bringing in new talent while relying on a core of experienced players, including the indefatigable midfielder Aníbal Godoy and the supremely talented Adalberto Coco Carrasquilla. The results weren't instant, but an identity began to form. This was no longer just the Marea Roja, the Red Tide, built on passion alone. This was a more innovative, more resilient, more tactically astute team. They became a side that was difficult to break down and devastating on the counter. They proved it by reaching the 2023 Gold Cup final, losing a tight match to Mexico, and becoming regulars in the CONCACAF Nations League finals. By 2025, Christensen had become the coach with the most matches in Panama's history, a testament to the stability he had brought. The wilderness years were over. It was time to hunt again. Section 2, the Gauntlet, a road paved with fire. The road to the 2026 World Cup was always going to be brutal. With 3 host nations automatically qualified, the path for the rest of CONCACAF was narrower than ever. For Panama, it meant navigating a gauntlet designed to break teams with lesser resolve. Their journey began in the second round of qualifying. In CONCACAF, away days are notoriously difficult, played in humid climates on imperfect pitches in front of hostile crowds. Grouped with Nicaragua, Guyana, Montserrat, and Belize, Christensen's team handled their business with ruthless efficiency. 4 games, 4 wins. It was a flawless start, but it was just the appetizer. The main course was coming. The final round saw the 12 best teams split into 3 groups of 4. Only the winner of each group would punch their ticket to the World Cup. The draw was unkind. Panama landed in Group A, a group of death, alongside up-and-coming Suriname and 2 fierce Central American rivals, Guatemala and El Salvador. This was where the dream would either be realized or die. The campaign started with a tense 0-0 draw away to Suriname, a valuable point, but it put the pressure on. Next up was a home game against their rivals, Guatemala. In a cagey affair where neither side would give an inch, it ended 1-1. Then came another tough away trip to El Salvador, where they fell behind early but showed their new maturity, weathering the storm to find an equalizer and finish 1-1. After a 4th consecutive draw, this time at home against Suriname, Panama had a meager 4 points from 4 matches. The dream was on life support. Fans grew nervous. Was this new team going to falter when it mattered most? The margin for error was gone. They had to win out, and they had to do it against the very teams they had failed to beat. Section 3. The Climax, one night in Guatemala. It all came down to the final 2 games in the November 2025 window. First, a trip to Guatemala City. It was do or die. A loss would eliminate them. Guatemala came out flying, feeding off the energy of their home crowd. They took the lead, and the stadium became a deafening wall of sound. The Panama of old might have crumbled, but this was Christensen's Panama. They equalized through the ever-reliable Cecilia Waterman. Guatemala, desperate, pushed forward and scored again to make it 2-1. The dream was dying once more. As the second half wore on, Panama's character shone through. They dug deep. Waterman, a hero on the night, found a second goal to level the match at 2-2. The Guatemalan crowd fell silent, and then came the moment that would define their campaign. A swift counterattack, a perfectly weighted pass, and Jose Fajardo, the man for the big occasion, found himself through on goal. He made no mistake, 3-2. Panama had come from behind twice to snatch a monumental victory on the road. The final whistle was met with an explosion of joy from the Panamanian players. They had stared down elimination and walked out with a win that put their destiny in their own hands. This set the stage for the final match day. Panama at home against El Salvador. The math was simple. Suriname, their closest rival, was playing Guatemala at the same time. If Panama won, they would leapfrog Suriname, finish top of the group, and go to the World Cup. The Estadio Rommel Fernandez was a sea of red, a fortress of hope. From the first whistle, Panama played with a controlled fury. The breakthrough came early as Cesar Blackman fired home his 3rd international goal to give Panama a 1-0 lead, sending a wave of pandemonium through the stadium. They didn't sit back. A foul in the penalty area. The referee pointed to the spot. The veteran defender, Eric Davis, stepped up and coolly slotted it home. 2-0. The party was starting. As the clock wound down, Jose Luis Rodriguez pounced on a rebound to make it 3-0, the final exclamation point on a dominant performance. When the final whistle blew, the stadium erupted. Fireworks lit up the Panama City sky. Players collapsed to the ground in tears, not of sorrow like in 2018, but of triumphant vindication. They had done it. After being written off and forgotten, Panama had fought through the most brutal qualifying campaign in their history to punch their ticket to their 2nd ever FIFA World Cup. Section 4, The Reward, A New Horizon. The celebrations across Panama lasted for days. The heroes of the campaign, Waterman, Fajardo, Carrasquilla, and the mastermind Christensen, were immortalized. But as the euphoria began to settle, a new reality dawned. Qualification wasn't the final destination. It was the reward. And what a reward it is. The FIFA World Cup 2026 draw is complete, and Panama's challenge is set. Placed in Group L, they face Ghana, Croatia, and England, the same opponent that defeated them 6-1 in 2018. But this is not the same Panama. This team is no longer satisfied with simply qualifying. Under Thomas Christensen, the focus has shifted from participation to competitiveness. Success in 2026 means staying alive in every match, fighting for points, and believing in a shock result. With the expanded format allowing third-place teams to advance, escaping the group is no longer a fantasy. It's a real target. Panama's journey has been one of collapse, rebuilding, and belief. After being written off following 2018, they quietly reshaped their identity. Guided by discipline and powered by experience, they became a team that expects results, not sympathy. They are no longer debutantes. They are resilient, prepared, and battle-tested. The world is watching again, and La Marea Roja still burns. 2018 was the beginning. 2026 is about how far they can truly go and what legacy they leave behind. The journey of this Panamanian team is a testament to resilience, a story about what happens when you refuse to be defined by your past. They have earned their place back on the world stage, and the challenge that awaits them is immense. But what do you think? After a grueling path to qualification, can this grittier, more mature Panama team actually shock the world again? Can they get out of their group? Let us know your predictions in the comments below. If you're a Panamanian or Central American fan planning 2026, the Smart Fan 2026 Survival Kit has border visa and budget tools. Link below. And if you enjoyed this story, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single chapter on the road to 2026.
Legend starts somewhere. Two worlds, one game, infinite dreams. Yet 99% of talent is never discovered. From nothing to glory isn't just content, it's a movement. 23,000 smart fans, 50 countries, one family. Your journey from nothing to glory starts now. From nothing to glory, where legends are born.